術式順天青
Hello everyone, my name is Troy and welcome to Maximum Output Training. Welcome to Max Effort Lower. And it is quote unquote a deload week of some sort, so we are not going super balls to the wall this week. We are working with a safety squat bar today. Today's variation is a safety squat bar, good morning. So about 4 weeks ago, you saw me go for a top triple. This week, since we do not have some sort of starting off point, we are gonna do a top 5 today. And to kind of like bring fatigue down a little bit, and we'll just go from there. So we are just gonna start warming up here and see what I can do. We roughly got 225 pounds for a top triple. For today's top set of 5, I'm gunning for like 205 pounds. We'll see how I'm feeling. Sleep is still not that great, and the nice thing about the safe squat bar, it doesn't piss off my shoulders as much. So let's get to it. I still have to get used to this bar just because the pad is super thick and it like rests on the back of my skull a little bit, and it kind of pitches myself forward, which is like the thing the bar should do to make it a little bit harder but also easier at the same time for your body. And I got to get used to the handles almost touching my thighs, so I have to like position my feet in such a way that it does not collide with my thighs, and I use my thighs to help me out of the lift. I almost said out like 3 times there. So I'm gonna rest for a little bit. The jumps are gonna be fucking wonky today because the bar is 65 pounds, and I made that mistake 4 weeks ago when I went for my top triple on good mornings. I just kept like jumping how I normally would with a straight bar. So we'll just take our time here and go from there. So I'll catch you for the next set. Okay, 115 pounds. I just realized I shout or I kind of like yell or raise my voice. So if it muffles the mic, I apologize. It's just kind of who I am, especially if I'm comfortable in a certain setting, which is just me in my home gym talking to you guys. So controlling my voice is a little on the harder side. So it's just one of those things, once I'm comfortable around someone or something, you guys are fucked. So if you hear any muffling, it's just the sensitivity of the mic, I guess. So if so I'm trying to like lower my voice here. So all right, 115 on the bar. We're gonna go for 5s all the way up. I just think it's just a little bit easier if I just continue it until I work up to an actual top set of 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And then I kind of gauge my jumps from there. But since I have no top 5 in my arsenal for SSB good mornings, we'll just go 5s all the way up. And that might take energy off away from me, but that's okay because I can just go over the next time around. If I do decide to do SSB top 5 for good mornings, I have a starting point to beat it next time. So this is just seeing what I can do and maybe leave a set in the tank and then go from there. So I haven't belted up yet. But I did put my knee sleeves on because I do squat after this, and then obviously safety spot arms for safety so I don't die here. So let's get to it. 5s all the way up, 115. Okay, don't do what I did there, was just play around with my stance during an actual set. I was just trying to figure out my feet because I felt they were too wide, and then I tried to bring them in, and then that was too narrow. And then I kind of just said, fuck it, I'm just gonna suck it up and finish the rest of my warm-ups. And I just kind of like went in the middle of the too wide and too narrow, and that felt weirdly okay. But in my opinion, for good mornings, it's better to have a wider stance, close to your squat stance, in terms of how it's a little bit wider than your squat stance, or maybe just use your squat stance. So for me, I usually do my good mornings a little bit wider. It just feels better on the hamstrings, and I get more stability out of it, so I'm not like folding forward kind of thing. So I'm just gonna go back to my regular stance for good mornings, which is wider than my low bar competition style squat stance. So it's 115. I'm gonna load 135 on, and then you know what? Fuck it. I'll probably just put 155 on, and then just take a little longer rest in between sets. So I'll catch you for that. 155 on the bar. Fives all the way up. Feeling pretty good. Shoulder is there. It's still attached. So how I'm gonna go forward in terms of training, I'll probably like talk more in depth if I do a dynamic effort lower day and talk more about it. But I think I can just talk about it here. Going forward, I probably will gear my training towards more SSB and front squats, and maybe I'll hit some box squats as well with the SSB, just to give myself some sort of variation and see how that goes. I'm not too sure yet, but I like freestyle free squatting. I think that's the correct term. Free squatting. So no box, and just putting pauses in between and just doing my regular macro cycle for squatting, and just go from there. So maybe I'll talk about it more later. Maybe I'll forget. Who knows? 155 for 5. Felt pretty good. I think I'm just gonna go 20-pound jumps until I hit like 205, and then I'll just gauge from there. So I'm gonna rest a little bit. Excuse me, and I'll catch you for the next set. 175 on the bar. Like I said, fives all the way up. Feeling pretty good. I have to practice my bracing a little bit better. I have this bad habit of treating the SSB like a front squat when it comes to bracing and actually doing the lift, because for front squats, I hold my breath, do the unrack, set my feet, and then I go for the squat. Just because the bar is pretty much strangling you and choking you out. So if you keep your breath the entire time, you don't have to unrelease or exhale and then bring your chest down and then try to bring in more air when you have this bar choking you out and you won't get as much air to brace. So I hold my breath the entire time for front squats. So I don't have to do that on an SSB or a low bar squat or a regular high bar squat. I can just brace how I normally would for a regular squat. So I got to change my bracing. So I'm going to do that right now. So 175 for 5. That felt a lot better. I felt like I could hold my breath a little bit longer, but on the 4th rep, I exhaled and went for it again, and it still felt pretty smooth. So I'm gonna load 195 on, rest a little bit longer, and I'll catch you for that. 195 on the bar, slowly but surely ramping up. Like I said at the beginning, fives all the way up, even though that could tire me out for the long haul, going for my top set of 5. But we're just trying to get a baseline until I can figure out my top set. And then for future max effort days, if I'm going for a top 5 on SSB Good Mornings, I can base my warm-up jumps and then try to save energy for the top set, maybe beating this baseline here. So not the smartest thing to do, but also a smart thing to do, because you won't be conserving energy for the top set, but you're conserving energy to get a baseline so you have something for the future. So let's do this. 195 for 5. Okay. I kind of lost it there on the 4th rep. I couldn't, because I exhaled on the 3rd rep, I believe, and I tried to regain my composure and regain my breathing into my belt. And I didn't breathe into my belt as hard as I wanted to. And I got the 4th rep, but going for my 5th, I felt like the bar wasn't stable on my back and it pitched me forward even further. So I'll probably jump to 205 and see how that feels. So I got to clean it up, do a little bit better, and I'll see you for 205. All right, this is possibly my top set, 205 for 5. Let's just jump right into it. I think I'm gonna call it there. I felt pretty good. I think I could probably push maybe 215, 225. But for a baseline start, maybe leave a set in the tank for now. And then when I go back for top set of 5 in the future, I'll probably gun for 215 or 225 as I acclimate more, especially to the SSB, because I haven't used the SSB for like any type of squatting variation yet. So once I get used to the bar, I think I'll smash out a better top set of 3, maybe beating 225. And then in the future after that, top set of 5, beating 205. And then my other good morning variations, top 3, top 5 with a straight bar. So I'm gonna rest a little bit and we're gonna go into squats. SSB good mornings, done and dusted. Now, as usual, we are gonna do our first barbell accessory, which is gonna be high bar squats at 265 for sets of 3. And to be honest, I really didn't want to do these today just for setup reasons. I actually was going to do a safety squat bar for 245 for sets of 3, just for setup sake anyways, but I'd rather kind of just get used to acclimate to the SSB squats when I start doing them for a training cycle versus just jumping into them and then just kind of try to get used to it. But I guess deload week would be the week to start trying new things, but is what it is. So we're going to continue with high bar, and as I sit on the safety squat bar, or safety spot arm, I realized it was uneven. This one was lower than this one. So if you see it in the video later and you noticed it it looks wonky, just from the angle or whatever, yeah, I messed that up, but that's okay. High bar squats feeling okay. It feels weird on the shoulder. It's like a nice stretch on the shoulder, but also kind of hurts the shoulder. So I'll probably omit high bar squats for a little bit. And like I said earlier, I'll be doing mostly front squats, SSB, and maybe try to get back in the swing of things of low bar squats until it's time. But for the next 3 to 8-ish weeks, it's going to be all front squats and SSBs going forward. So I'll probably get into that for the next training vlog and discuss further. So let's get into it. First set, 265 high bar squats for 3. Those smell pretty good. I have a weird eye infection. I have no idea what is happening with my eyelid. I think it's a sty. But on the top set of good mornings, I felt like my eyelid, this side, was about to burst. So if I hold my breath in, it feels like my eye is gonna like explode. But it's all whatever. To be honest, squats or the barbell accessory for squats after my max effort set, I think going forward, I'm going to be doing triples and then adjust percentages and load or intensity as I go. Just for fatigue reasons, I just think in the past, doing roughly 75% for like sets of 5 after doing a max effort set just fucked me up, especially towards the tail end of the dynamic effort wave. So I'm going to gear it to like the next training cycle going forward. It will be a little bit experimentation, but also see how fatigue goes and all that. So the barbell accessory, I usually do a squat accessory and then a barbell accessory, a deadlift accessory. But I think because I do a squat and a deadlift, I have to manage fatigue a little bit better. And instead of just trying to push weights to push reps, I'm gonna push it in such a way where it's gonna build both lifts while managing fatigue and by dropping reps and playing around with the load. I hope that makes sense. So I'm gonna rest a little bit. I got a couple more sets and I'll see you for the last accessory of the video. Last and final accessory of the video of deload week for this video anyways is, you can't really see it as usual. There is a 3-inch deficit here. We are doing conventional deadlifts at 285 pounds for also triples. So I'm going to only do this for like 1 or 2 sets. Manage fatigue a little bit better. Just doing my best to kind of recover this week. Just like for max effort upper, I probably will never do, or I can't say never, never say never, Justin Bieber, my Canadian god. Just kidding. Even though I only live like a couple hours away from his hometown. Anyways, I digress. And me rambling on. We are going to be experimenting forward with max effort upper in terms of I probably won't do max effort upper for a very long time. Maybe I'll give it like 3 months. And just to help, just because I think those higher intensities just mangles my shoulder where I should just be practicing the movement. So max effort upper going forward is going to be a modified dynamic effort upper, where the barbell accessory will be the main max effort exercise. And I'll probably do it in such a way where I play around the 65 to 80% range for 3 to 5 reps. I don't know why I'm explaining this, but I'll probably clue you guys in if you guys are still this far in the video for max effort upper when I decide to do one. Yeah, so I'll probably experiment on Wednesday, see how that goes. And I'll probably introduce bands on dynamic effort upper just to take load off the straight weight and play around with bands because it'll be easier at the bottom and harder at the top, but we'll see how that goes. So I'm gonna shut up. I'll explain further with max effort upper and dynamic effort upper for the future vlogs. But for now, 3-inch conventional deficit pulls at 285 pounds for 3. Yeah, 285 is a little on the heavier side. So if I decide to continue with 3-inch deficit pulls for conventional, I'll drop it down to 275 and still play within the 3 to 5 rep range. But I think going forward, I'll probably do it like with squats, play around with the 3 to 5 range, most likely gearing towards the 3 rep range and just seeing what I can do. So that's it. That's all. Comment, rate, subscribe, all that fun stuff. If you want some online coaching, there's some stuff in the description below. We can set up a 20-minute consultation and we can go from there. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at maximumoutput_training. And I upload twice a day, every day, as best as I can. And you can also chat with me there. So I'll catch you guys next week for another training cycle, modified so I don't mangle my shoulder anymore. So have a great day, guys. Peace.